All of these videos that I am making are kind of things that have like the breakthroughs that I've had while explaining these chapters that I have been putting in, explaining my story. So, like, the chapters are my story, but these are going to be little like subsections of things that, like, videos that I'm going to be putting up about, you know, specific things that I'm talking about because I'm kind of doing little subcategories and all that. So this one is about, what was it? Sorry, don't mean to yawn. About saving people and healing people and trying to fix people. I struggled with that one for a very long time because I felt like I had to save everybody. I got into the career fields that I got into, like, um, well, in the Air Force, I wanted to be a pilot more than anything. Um, but I was too short. Yeah. 5'4" was the minimum back then. That was the shortest you could be. 5'4". Bastards. For any pilot. Like I passed the test, like with flying colors. I could have any job I wanted. Any job I wanted. But I was either too short or I was a girl. So I wanted to do pararescue and a couple other ones, and they were like, no. Because I wanted to save people. I wanted to protect people. I wanted to save as many people as I could. So when I couldn't get top secret clearance because I went in as EOD, explosive ordnance disposal, so bomb squad. That's what I went in for. So I was like, okay, let's go blow shit up. Let's go cut wires and not let things blow up. Like let's go for it. Plus, they had the biggest sign-on bonus, really and truly. But I couldn't get top secret clearance because I had too much debt that I went in with. And so, because an ex boyfriend convinced me to go get a bunch of personal loans under my name at many different banks and give him the money, and he took off with it. And so it messed with my credit. So, yeah, again, like I said, I've made so many mistakes. Um, but yes, um, with that, I couldn't get top secret clearance. But as you can see, like it's so funny how like that seems like such a bad thing, but it actually helped me. So I couldn't get top secret clearance. So I couldn't go out and do bomb squad. And this was during the Iraq and Afghanistan war. And so I would have been on the front line all the time because they were in high demand. Why do you think they had such a high sign-off bonus? Is because they were losing people left and right. And that would have been me. It could have been me. But um I was saved from that. So what did I choose to do? I wanted to be a cop, which is so funny because like I remember writing in my elementary school things like like they ask you what do you want to be when you grow up, and two of the times I wrote that I was going to be a teacher and that I wanted to be a police officer. Guess what happened? Guess what happened? Does that mean that I manifested it or did I predict it as a child? Think about that one. Tell me what you think. You tell me what you think in the comment section. Now, I went in to be a police officer because I wanted to save people. I wanted to protect people. Um, Same with me being a teacher. I wanted to help kids. I wanted to, you know, teach them and guide them and, really like help them believe that they can be whatever they want to be. Because I was that teacher that would spout that all the time. As long as you believe it, you can be it, which was half true, halfway there. Belief is part of the whole process, but there's more to it. See, I didn't realize at the time, but those limiting beliefs kind of override your conscious beliefs. Damn sub-programming. The pre-programming does actually affect things more than what you like want in your waking time. So I didn't know that then, but I did want to like guide our youth to want better and be better and do better, which I think I helped in some ways. A lot of ways. I had a student reach out to me and tell me that they made it through high school and graduated because I believed in him. And that I was so grateful for that. That made me really happy to know that it doesn't matter if it was multiple kids, as long as it was just one, that's all that matters. And so um it was one of those things that with it, I wanted to save people. I wanted to help everybody, the bleeding heart. I would overgive and I would stay after school till like 6 o'clock at night to help kids get caught up with their missing assignments. But also, I didn't want to go home to an abusive husband, too. Like, I hated it because I just was going to have to go home and make dinner and clean house and take care of my kids and deal with a drunk husband every night. So there was that aspect as well. But I wanted I was just an overgiver. Um, which really, really and truly, when I look at it and when I had to really look at that piece of me, it was because I wanted so badly for someone to save me. I wanted to be saved. I wanted someone, if I maybe went out and I saved people and I did that, well, maybe someone would do the same for me. Maybe someone will help me. But it wasn't that case because you have to realize that people that do that, that feel that, they attract in people that are going to take because people see you as an easy mark. And so therefore they're going to take from you and they're going to use and abuse. And then you become bitter and broken because of the fact that so many people, you just keep repeating the pattern. And then when you try to give again, no, that you call them back in, except for a different a different face, a different body, but the same energy. So I then learned that this pattern was mostly in the self abandonment of myself. Like I was over giving to people, but I was abandoning myself. I was constantly trying to save others and I wanted someone to save me, but instead I needed to save myself. I needed to take care of myself. So I had to really go deep into this. Well, okay, how do I save myself? How do I there are so many different aspects in that category of saving yourself and of protecting yourself. And it's learning to say no, it's learning boundaries, it's learning to take care of your mental and physical and emotional health. It's, you know, not being around the people that drag you down. It's like choosing your friendships. It's even if in that aspect of choosing your friendships, it's about choosing to be around people that don't drain you. And if you have to be alone to feel that way, then so be it. Do you know how many people I hang around with at work? Like zero. I am either in the gym during my lunch break or I'm out on the grass during my other breaks. Even today, it was starting to rain and I was out there laying on the grass, just enjoying the rain. coming down on me, singing Rain on Me by Ariana Grande. Rain on me. But it's one of those things that you have to really start putting yourself first. And it's going to start off like, and it's going to be so hard because whenever you start off with it, it's going to be intense. Like, you have to put yourself first. You have to you have to like tap into your feelings and about, what triggers you. And you have to, see how you feel about doing certain things. Because if you're a people pleaser, you have to really like stop for a second and not answer when somebody says, "Hey, can you do this?" And you're like, do I want to do that? I had great kids in the aspect of like whenever they would ask me something, they'd be like, "Do you want to?" My oldest daughter was amazing at that one. She's like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was just like, "Hold on. No, I really don't want to." And she's like, "Okay." Like I said, we've been healing. All four of us have been healing each other. Like that, amazing. We're the dynamic, not duo, but quadra. I can't think of the word. The kick-ass quad. There we go. We're gonna go with that one. I like that one. They're gonna be like, "Mom, shut up. Please stop. You're embarrassing me," which means I'm doing my job right. But when you are with people, like you can't save anyone that doesn't want to be saved. And if somebody wants to be saved and they're not putting, like, there's a difference between someone wants help and someone wants to be saved. If somebody wants to be saved, they're not putting in the work. They're not trying. They're saying they want your help, but all they're doing is they're draining your energy. So someone can be like, "Oh, I want to do better in life. I want to like be a better person." And yet they're not actually listening to what you've done, or they don't really actually care. They don't care. They really don't. They don't want to do better. They just want to sit there and leech off of your positive energy. So those are people that you have to gray rock, more or less. Those are people that you do not even let get into your energy. Those are people that don't want to be they don't even want to be saved. They just want to live in misery and bitch about it. So I realize too that you cannot save anybody in the aspect that some people are just they can't be saved. Some people will um some people will honestly they will put in the work. This is my ex-husband did this just so that you think that they want to be saved or that they're changing, and it's just a manipulation tactic to try and get you to believe that they are, and then they'll go right back to the old patterns. So one thing is that your best option is to stop worrying about trying to save people and save yourself. This is the plane that is going down, and you can either put on the mask for yourself or you can put the mask on for someone else. But realize if you put it on for someone else, you're dead. I'm good. I'm going to put my mask on, okay? I'm going to put my mask on. You worry about your mask. I'll worry about mine. Okay? And if that bothers people, those people don't need to be in your life. If you hold people accountable, like, "Well, I thought you were working on this," or, um, "Didn't you say you were going to do this?" and they get upset by it, that's something to be aware of. So, when it comes to all of that, you can't heal, you can't save anybody. I mean, you can help people, but only if they're putting in equal amounts of work. Because I have tried so many times. I'm even doing that with my own children, believe it or not. My own children. I tried for a long time. I'm like, I gotta help them. I gotta save them. I gotta, like they gotta heal them because I felt so bad that I was not a good parent for a very long time. I felt so guilty and so ashamed of what I allowed. And for a very long time, like, okay, you know, you can put them in certain things and you can have them do certain things and you can talk about certain things, but when it comes right down to it, they have to put the work in. My kids have to show up halfway. They have to at least be trying. It's up to them. Like, if they want it bad enough, they're going to put it in. And that's something that I have even talked to my own children about. Like, hey, like if you really like, I'm going to call you out on the things that are not okay. And you can't get mad at me. Like, you can get mad at me if you want, but I'm still going to do it because I care about you. This is why I don't carry, like, I don't have soda in my house. I don't have a lot of like sugary things in my house because I care about my kids. Am I strict? Like, you can't eat this candy or you can't do this. Like, my son still gets sodas from his friend's house. He'll still go over to his friend's house, which is probably why he spends a lot of his time at his friend's house because he can get soda there. I'm not gonna like shame and guilt him for having them because again, these are their choices. They are making the choices. But the point that I'm making is the fact that I'm not gonna have it in the house for them because I care about them and I'm still gonna tell them how I feel about it and that, I don't feel like it's a very good idea. Like, you should cut back on that. You know, am I going to shame them for it? Am I going to guilt them for it? Am I going to yell at them for it? No. But I will talk to them and they do know what's wrong with it. And we do talk about like what it does to your body and how it's not healthy for your body and how you should take care of your body. But that goes hand in hand with them loving themselves and wanting to be healthy. They haven't reached that level just yet. They're still working on that self love. When you get to a level of self love where you have saved yourself enough and that you've put yourself first enough, you get to a level of where you really start taking care of your body. Like, you start going to the gym regularly and not missing a day, and where you start really putting in the work to eating healthy and really like taking care of your body, resting when you need to rest. Like, especially with ADHD, I swear to you, like there were like times when I could not rest. Like, I felt like I had to do so many things, and like a rest day, what's that? But then whenever I'd hear about other people resting, I would feel jealous and I would be like upset because, well, I want one of those, but I wasn't even doing it for myself. So, how am I going to get mad at somebody else for resting whenever I myself wasn't even resting because I made the choice to book it full of crap that didn't need to get done? Stuff that I just wanted to fill it with. Taking a day and just reading a book or taking a day and like sleeping in. It's okay. Like, this is all like a self-love journey and saving yourself. So, again, you know, you can't save anyone. And that's stuff that I had to learn. And that goes like hand in hand with a lot of the relationships that I was in that I felt like I had to fix the man or I had to save them or, um, like if I love them hard enough, then, then they will. No, no. This is like, one thing I learned in, um, like the whole Jelly Roll and Bunny, like how she built him up and he cheated on her multiple times, and then he loses that weight, and then he wants a divorce. Like, don't build someone up. Don't do that. You need to meet someone at your level. Don't A lot of guys I dated, a lot of guys, like, that was how F was, in the fact that he was at his lowest and he had nowhere to go, and I, like, gave him a place. I let him move in. And what did he do? He ran off and started running around and sleeping around. Like, there was no respect there for me. I was just a placeholder. I was just someone that was going to keep his bed warm and make him feel like, good, while he was still running around, screwing around and having fun still. I didn't mean shit to him. And that's how a lot of anxious avoidant attachment styles are. Guys that, or girls, like, too, can be either or. Those attachment styles are usually people that are going to have a placeholder there. They're going to have someone that they're okay with, like, you know, they fill a need, but they don't really love. They're not like, it's not actual love. It's just for the time being. And they have wandering eyes, they're gonna run off and cheat, they're gonna, flirt with other women, or other men, they're gonna sit there and they're gonna get on dating sites and they're gonna, like, um, you know, try and get attention because all you are is a placeholder. You are just someone to sleep with because they want to have a good time, they want to have sex, and that's it. Or you're like their purse. You're the one spending the money on them. That was how O was. Um, I was spending all the money, and it was one of those things that it was like nice to be, have money spent on you. And then, like, I still got a piece of ass, got stuff spent on me, and then still looking around because there was no respect there. There was no respect there because I didn't even respect myself enough to not do that stuff. If you don't have that kind of respect for yourself, then how do you expect somebody else to have that respect for you? You can't. So you have to give it to you first. And the only way to give it to you first is to walk away from those people, to walk away. Anybody in my story that I've talked about in other, like, in the previous chapters, those people knew how desperate I was. They saw, because they were able to push those boundaries. And boundaries are a big thing. I'm serious when I say boundaries are monumental. And I've learned, like, even just saying the boundaries, that's like a whole, like, that's a smaller level. Energetic boundaries, energetic boundaries, you automatically feel them. You don't even have to say them. You feel them. I can walk into a room now and people know that I mean business. I have supervisors and I have leads that talk to me like I'm their fellow person. I have people that are higher up than I am that talk to me like we work equals because of my energetic boundaries, because of the fact that I'm not going to put up with your shit. And I am not a people pleaser. And I don't laugh at your joke. If I don't think it's funny, then I'm not going to laugh at it. I'm not going to kiss your ass. And they get that. They feel that. They know that. And for that, they respect that. So it's one of those things that you have to learn those things and keep practicing them, because I wasn't this way always. Like, hell no, I wasn't always this way. I was one of those people that I would bend over backwards. Whatever you say, sir. Whatever you say, ma'am. Ma'am, what can I do to make you happy? Because I need you to be happy to feel safe. That's how it was. Like, if you aren't happy, then your emotions are my emotions, and therefore I need to make sure that you're happy. Because if you're happy, then I feel safe. That's how it was. So with that, um, that whole saving people, you can't save others. You can't fix others. The only thing you can do is you can fix yourself. And when you fix yourself, you in turn actually do fix others, but in a different way. Like, it's not about fixing them. You are setting a standard energetically and physically and emotionally too, like in different ways. But you are setting a standard, and those people can either, you know, not like it and walk away, or they can match you. But it's up to them. And they can see that if they, push against it, what happens. And that means that they, lose you. That's up to them. That's their loss. Or they can match you and stay with you and be at that same level as you. That's up to them. Like, they have a choice. And you can be okay with whatever their choice is. If they choose to walk away, that's their choice. They chose to walk away. They chose to not step it up. But this is where you have to really hold that standard and hold that boundary, because I tell every man that I date, that you get one shot with me. One shot. You fuck it up, that's on you. Because I don't go back. I learned a long time ago with my ex-husband, every time that I took him back, every time that he cheated on me, I told him that what he was doing was okay. I told him that his actions and how he treated me was acceptable. And every time I said I was going to leave, every time I said I was going to like I was going to walk away, I was going to take the kids, every time I said that and I didn't do it, he knew that he could keep beating me, and he knew that he could keep doing what he was doing, because I wasn't going to follow through. I wasn't true to my word. And I will be true to my word from here on. Every person, every relationship that I have been in, that they have treated me the way that they treated, and then I walked away and I didn't go back, and I still won't go back. You don't get another shot. I don't care if you changed your ways and you have become a new man. You had a chance and you threw it away. Much like with Jelly Roll and Bunny, he did those things and she accepted him back. And he still was like, oh, okay, well, then I can get away with it again. It's it's a continuous thing. If that person shows you who they are, believe it and walk away. You can't save them, you can't fix them. That's who they are. That is who they are. And it's better if you just go on your way and figure out why you attracted that person. What did you put up with? What did you allow? What boundary did you let them cross? And how do you change that? Don't become hardened and be like, I hate all men or I hate all women. They're all cheaters. They're all liars. They all suck. No, they don't. Not all of them. There's a good bunch of them. Don't get me wrong. But what was it about you that you missed the red flag? Because realize that a lot of our trauma is based off of red flags that we thought were green flags, but turns out they're actually red flags. I know, right? Because, trauma will do that to people. What you think is normal is not normal. So, what I thought was normal in my family was actually absolutely not normal. Common, sadly, common, but not normal, not okay. So, um, it's really honestly best for you to work on fixing yourself. And don't get stuck in the whole I constantly have to fix myself to, eventually find someone. I mean, still go out and still try a date. I did. I still kept trying, but I kept finding things that I allowed and I kept learning new things about myself as I tried to date again and again and again with different people, things that I put up with and things that I won't put up with anymore. Things that things that I, you know, tried to rush or things that I, accepted and shouldn't have. A lot of things. So you'll learn things as you get out and you start to try and date again. But don't give up. I mean, just it's an experiment. You're learning what you will and won't put up with and what you do and don't want. Um, one in particular, I didn't realize how much I would not like for a guy to just kiss me without me knowing about it. Like that was something that it really dawned on me, like how much in our culture that um I know this is a whole different tangent, but I didn't realize how much in our culture, in our rom-com movies, it was common for a man to just kiss a woman randomly. Like that's not okay. We were like led to believe that that's what love is a guy will kiss you without your permission. Like, no, I don't think so. We were told that that was love, that that was like normal, that that was like, that's what guys should do. No, I don't think so. In this day and age, consent needs to be consent, and it needs to be something that is, it's about restraint. That's the big thing. I went on a date with a guy that we went to a movie and it was nice. It was really nice. He paid for it. We went to dinner, we went to a movie. Um, but at the movie theater, when we were getting ready to leave, he turned around and he quickly kissed me. And he was like, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't do that. If I didn't kiss you. I wouldn't and internally it bothered me because I was not expecting it, because I was still very nervous about the date because I hadn't been on a date, like a real, like traditional date in a long time. And so it made me uncomfortable because of the fact that I wasn't expecting it and I was not expecting to kiss on the first night, on the first date. I wasn't going to go for that. And I didn't get to have a say in that. It just kind of was taken from me. And that internally stirred up a lot of feelings about my childhood trauma because it was like, it felt like he had no self restraint, which was very much how it was when you get raped and abused like that because it's like they're animals. They have no restraint. They can't help themselves. And for me, it triggered a lot in that area because it was like, I don't feel comfortable around you now. Like, I could not continue dating this person. And he was really pushing to be in a relationship. And I was like, no, I am not going to be exclusive with you. Like, he was trying to rush things very, very quickly. And so That was a warning sign to me. But for years before, that was normal. That was normal. That's what you do, right? But it took me having to try and date and learn other things and learn to tell him no and be able to say I don't want that. Things that I had to slowly build up. It's not like it was like all of this was learned overnight. It was like constant experimentation, constant practice, constant trying and getting there. So, saving yourself and fixing yourself is the only thing that you really can do. And I promise you, when you do, it changes everything. Everything. When people realize that you don't care and that you're not going to be just some tool for them, definitely changes how people treat you. Definitely changes how people look at you too, because you're not a sucker. And that desperation that you once carried in trying to save people and help people, it disappears. It becomes wisdom in knowing that you can help others, but only if they're willing to help themselves and put in the work. So, hope this helps with anything. And, go save yourself. Be Supergirl or, Superman or Wonder Woman for your own life. Peace out.